8 match here for you. It's going to be Nami versus Blue Green Luffy. So we saw ENENE yesterday on stream in Blue Green Luffy, and Sam by that Snoopy prep team is going to go ahead, attach the 1 Dawn on the 2 Dawn turn to get that leader effect off, potentially to be a 7.
Yeah, and Nami, likely one of the best decks in the previous format, right? This kind of bounce between an Element, and then Luffy, one of the new leaders from this one. It is really good at establishing like a lot of these smaller bodies, but in NA just attaching 3 and swinging immediately. So really interesting to see that. We got the Kikunojo on the other side and passing back with 5 Dawn for an NA.
It's going to be a strong start for Sam and Nami, right? No little 1-drops or pesky bodies to be able to swing over at lead, but a buggy comes down, being able to draw 1 and play a prisoner of Impel Down is going to be a double body on this turn for Luffy as he restands 2 and swings 7 at lead. That's one of the advantages, at least in this matchup for Blue-Green Luffy. I know this is typically Nami favored, but being able to restand 2 Dawn to guaranteed swing 7 at least is still pretty strong.
Yeah, and I think with Nami being the most played deck in this event, you would have to know what this matchup looks like. And I'm already seeing like it's either they had a bad hand, or they said, you know what, it's kind of better to make these larger attacks currently. So we've got these with these like establishing 2 6Ks. We also do have like the 2-drop Bond Clay that we could be playing that will be able to match the leader's base power of Nami after it happens, which ends up being pretty good. But going down to 2 life already and passing it back.
Interesting on that turn, we didn't use the buggy on opponent's attack effect to make the Prisoner of Impel Down a blocker and a 2K. Just decided to go to 2 instead, just in case Sam had another Nami in the follow-up turn. Didn't get like a free life taken, essentially, for that on-play effect. Although typically Nami's on-curve plays more things like Robin and of the sorts. But still sitting at 7 Dawn, I believe, in this turn. Has a lot of different options presented them. It could be interesting if we see another buggy prisoner play.
Yeah, another card that could be coming down is this Nico, or not Nico, Boa Hancock here. Sorry. So using it affects so you do not have the ability to rest the Nami there, and then you can either attack 1 big 7K with leader or double 7Ks with the buggy and the prisoners. It means that you aren't going to have a blocker, but deciding to go a little bit wider, it looks like, with this first 7K.
7,000 power, just going to be a leader effect, getting rid of the new gate and a Nami to get out of that attack and go 8,000 power. And just like you were saying, attaching the other Dawn, trying to be as efficient as possible with the swings that you have, right? How many cards can you get out of SamSam's hand? Guarding the life very well against an aggressive deck like Blue-Green Luffy. Going to be interesting to see where this Kikunojo swings. Going to be a prisoner 2K out of that attack. Another 6,000 power swing coming in, gonna have to tax the 2Ks, but goes down to 1 very quickly. Leader effect going off to be able to draw a card. The Robin coming down to be able to heal 2 and a pass off the turn.
Yeah, and so one thing inherently too with this boa that we were able to play last year, it does have unblockable, so no blockers right now, but this is something that if you play it on curve, you can apply a lot of pressure over the next couple turns. The bigger thing is, does an NA have a next couple turns, right? We're already down to 1 life. The board for our Nami players getting a little bit wider, and we have to really respect the amount of pressure that they can have. But we're starting with a 7K with the buggy, start us off.
Once again, just guarding the life is going to be a leader effect, pitching the Gecko to be a 7,000 power leader for the rest of the turn, and then a 1K of the Perona. The Thriller Bark package as part of SamSam's deck list is going to be potentially some triggers to get some extra bodies on the field, but now going in with the smaller bodies on an NA side, the 2-drop Daz Bones is going to go ahead and draw 1 card, replace itself in the hand.
And right now, Nami is a 7K leader, so we're just going to go 9, go down back to 3 life for SamSam.
Does still have a couple swings potentially if he wants to commit the Prisoner of Impel Down yet again, but maybe wants to keep the Prisoner of Impel Down as active to be a blocker. The one thing that's really nice is you don't have to worry so much about something like Zeus for the Prisoner of Impel Down, right? Because Zeus only touches 5 costs on the KO. Prisoner is a 6. So after playing that Crocodile and replaying the Daz Bones just to get another card draw, uses leader effect to be able to get 2 Dawn as active, and still has 4 Dawn to be able to work with for the rest of this turn.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going for 7 to 7.
He's just going to ask for another card out of the hand or a life for Sam Sam. Luckily, no trigger bodies as of yet. But it is just going to 2K out of it with that Zeus, like we were mentioning. Zeus maybe not as impactful in this matchup.
Yeah. Now, Luffy does have a lot of like defensive events that you could be running. So two Dawn Open could be useful for that. I mean, if we want to apply any more pressure this turn, we can attack with prisoners. We've got another crocodile blocker as well, so we can maybe afford to do another 7K here. But part of the reason that Nami is such a tough matchup at times is because every damage that you're pressing could come back to bite you. There could be a thriller bark trigger to play it out or get some advantage there. And really thinking on this, I think if we're attacking one more 7K by giving up a blocker and an extra Dawn.
And one of the things that is interesting to know, right? We talk about the aggression that ENENE has had. Sam has been countering like crazy on the life. Only 2 cards in hand right now, I believe, at this point, and still sitting at 3. I know we had a little bit of healing with the Robin, but we have been guarding our life pretty well despite all of these swings. And it looks like we are going to swing 7 with the prisoner. Just going to go ahead, take a life, a potential trigger, checking out the trash. Could be something like a Hogback or a Kumasi to be able to get a 4 cost thriller bark on the field, but no, just decide to puts it in the hand.
Yeah, could have been a Gecko Moria, which we could also just play next turn too. So based on what they're searching for, I think that could be the case. But going for a big 6, immediately getting the 2K.
Now going another 6 with the Kikunojo, just to see how many 2Ks that you can get out of an NA's hand. It looks like thinking about blocking here. This could be a block in 1K to get out of the attack, but no, just goes with the 2K prisoner, keeping the Croc onto the field. Now the 8,000 power swing off of the Nico Robin. Still has 1 Dawn left as active. Could be for one of those defensive events like you were talking about, but is thinking about taking the life, is going to go ahead, take the life. No trigger. Leader effect for Nami drawing a card. And here's a curious thing too. You have 5 characters with impel down typings on the field right now for that restand event, but the Mr. 3 is going to at least prevent this boa from swinging an unblockable swing. And now a 7 at lead is going to be the final swing of the turn for Nami and Sam.
And we got another 4. We're going to use the Dead Man's Game to get out of it. We do have now a Marco that can offer some blocking here, and it is going to be a little bit tough here, but I think this could be a turn where, ENENE could put down a lot of pressure.
Yeah, you can utilize the Let's Go to the Navy headquarters to be able to restand all of your characters and leader if you have 5 different impel down unique character names. But that still wouldn't allow this boa to attack.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. If Boa was like just couldn't be active during the refresh phase, the attack on Navy headquarters could still offer some pressure. The other thing is Daz Bones is not the Bond Clay. The Bond Clay would have been able to make itself a 7K, so a little bit suboptimal in this spot. We do get a pitch of the new gate, and then Nami's a 2K and then a 1K to get out of that 7K attack.
Still has plenty of swings left available to him and a leader effect to restand to Dawn. I think is thinking about just had motion with 7 Dawn. May have that in hand, but it's a lot of 7 pokes. Still a blocker in the Marco on the field. Sam having about 3 cards in hand.
Yeah, and the Marco here is going to offer us a lot of additional draw. We're going to go one more 7 here with the Croc. And I like the sequencing to try to play around a Perona or anything that could pop out of the life here.
So this is I feel like this is a big choice, this swing specifically, right? Because I think ENENE could pivot potentially if it doesn't go the way that he's thinking that it could go. But a 1K on the Mr. 3 is given for that. Still a couple swings left potentially with the prisoner, the leader, and maybe Mr. 1 if you can get it high enough. You have to attach 2 Dawn, I believe. And is going to attach the 2 Dawn.
All right, so that's also 6 Dawn that we've used. So I don't believe we're going to be able to play the let's go to the Navy HQ here. So
only 6 Dawn left as active. You need 7 in total for the Navy HQ, and your leader effect cannot bring back attached Dawn, right? Can only restand rested Dawn. So that's going to be something that SamSam has to think about. But one of the cards that could be utilized in this situation is maybe Brooke well, actually, I don't know if Brook would actually be that good, but is going to go ahead, take the life, not rest the Marco and block as of yet. We'll see if there's a potential trigger. Could be thinking about maybe on like a Kumasi if like you want to put the 2K in the hand or play the body on field and looks like whatever it was, it's going in the hand.
Yeah. All right, we've got 6 Dawn left active for ENENE. Now, the board across the way does have a lot of, you know, good cards to rest. We're going to use the effect of our own Mr. 3 to prevent the Nico Robin from attacking. Then we're going to spend 3 for maybe, hopefully, I Know You're Strong.
Could be I Know You're Strong, could be Electrical Luna. Any one of these stunning effects is so good in synergy with your leader effect, right? Restaining 2 Dawn, as we've seen in previous formats with something like Dracula Mihawk. Going to be tapping that 3 for Electrical Luna. That means that Kiku Nojo, Nami are going to stay rested as they cost 7 or less. And even the Robin actually is going to stay rested as well. So
Yeah,
unless he
and real
motioned for
quick,
the
it could have
Marco.
been the Marco that was chosen off Mr. 3. We don't have
Mhm.
a full confirmation because, at least for me, it looked like it was like in between those because that could prevent everything from attacking, right?
Yeah, and it was the Marco. I think we just got official confirmation from the
Okay.
production team that Marco was stunned. So all 3 of those characters that are sideways are rested, and Marco not being able to attack because of the Mr. 3 is just going to go a 15 at lead, is going to ask for the block on the Prisoner of Impel Down. Buggy activating that on opponent's attack to make Prisoner a blocker and a pass off the turn.
Now, this is a scary spot. We do have the Boa being able to attack unblockable. If we have a 6-cost Brook in the hand, that could be it for this game.
So we'll just have to see how an NA pilots this turn, a full 10 Dawn turn, lots of cards in his hand. I think he's got 7 cards. I can't really tell at that angle if he's got a Brook in the hand, but it could be close. There are a couple ways that this could go. Boa is able to swing again as well. That's going to be another one to think about, especially with that unblockable trait. You can get around that Marco pretty easily with that Boa. I don't think there's really anything that can stop the Boa from swinging as well. The only thing
The
that
only thing I could like maybe think of is like maybe it could be teach to remove the unblockable, but Brook would
Mhm.
still be able to rest the Marco, right? So
Yeah.
that would be like maybe the only thing. I'm gonna
I
look
think you're
through.
so starting out with a 9K swing at lead does not give any notion of what they're going to do outside of this 9,000 power. You can play Brook to then restand Boa and attach a bunch of Dawn to get one more swing in if you want.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is a tricky spot to get out of this. It would have to be all 3 cards in hand. It is going to be a life taken, no trigger. We'll see if the Brook comes in to restand the Boa.
Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, if we want to go big numbers, we can go 11-11. You know, a block with Marco would recognize like 2 more cards entering that hand as well. It looks like for 7, and we could also just be playing another Boa for 7, prevent the Marco from blocking, and then just go, you know, an additional 11K, I think, at Nami. So that could be, you know, not our best way, but the only way we have to maybe out this board.
Especially because Boa on that on play prevents a character other than Monkey D. Luffy from being able to be rested, right? So as you're talking about, like prevent the Marco from being able to block is really just anything at that point. I wonder if ENENE has opportunities to go a little bit more defensive. Right? He's trying to think. I mean, especially with a couple cards in hand, if you've got something like another stun effect like Electrical Luna, you can keep
Mhm.
all 3 of these bodies rested sideways yet again in a turn.
Yeah, and you can even like, I don't know, attacking 9K by attaching 3 Dawn doesn't feel that bad. Because then if they have to block with Marco, then you can put 7 on your buggy, which is a pretty big number, to go to 13 to their 7K leader. But it is going to be the Boa for the 7 going to use it. So Marco cannot block our attack next turn, getting the Dawn back. And we're going to put everything we've got on to either Crocodile or Buggy. Maybe
Might
even
just
just
try to
doing a 7 first and then the rest. But I think we're just going to do it. Oh, a big
8,000
8.
power. 8,000 power is going to be leader effect and 2K with Kumasi. A 9,000 power now is going to be 2K, 1K to get out of that attack. And I think ENENE just concedes and we move on to the next game, just saying, you know what? Because I didn't get lethal in that game, I just know you're going to be able to win on the clapback. So let's just save some time and go to game two.
Yeah, super close game, and I think the 7 drop bow is probably our most expensive option to go for game that the deck is running. So unfortunate we didn't see a Brook or a Dead Man's Game or something along that could really just help us push for that last game. But well played for both players, and we'll see if there are any adjustments going into game two.
And I think it was huge for SamSam to be guarding the life so early within that game to be able to force those situations from an NA to be that aggressive, right? Didn't allow any free swings to really go through at all. Really had to make him work for it. And then put him in that situation where like you get into this of, okay, now I got to go for it or else I'm falling.
Yeah, and Nami was able to be kind of aggressive themselves, right?
Mhm.
Being able to, play Kiku on curve, right, into Nami. Like Luffy is a 4 life leader too. It does get really susceptible to like direct damage like that, and having to play on the back foot at the same time is a little bit tough, I think, for Luffy.
So now Nene once again is going to be able to choose the order of this game. I'd imagine it'll be the same since Nene was the second seed. Did choose the order in the first game, is going to go for life. Ended up keeping the hand, but Sam is opting for the mulligan. So didn't like that first hand, is going to try to get a better one the second time around. Going to be interesting. I wonder, maybe trying to look for some key cards like a 5 cost Nami, right? For example, as you talk about 4 life leader, 5 cost Nami is very, very nice.
All right, there is the done with the shuffle. We're gonna get a quick shuffle back from Anene, and then gonna draw her first 5 there. But again, this is a really tough match, I think, for Blue Green Luffy. I think Blue Green Luffy is really good against a lot of the new decks, but a lot of kind of like the old guard of Nami and Enel is pretty tough for the deck itself. And I could see there why that's the case, because again, a 7K leader against a deck that loves hitting like 5Ks and 6Ks is pretty tough for us.
And so going first in the game, didn't have a 1 drop play to be able to utilize, but on the second turn for Nene is going to go ahead with the Bon Clay, restand the leader, may go in with a 5,000 power swing. We see the Daz Bones in the hand just to be able to get a card out of hand off the leader effect. And now the Daz Bones drawing 1 card, just going to pass off the turn.
Yeah, and I like that. I mean, 5K and 6K are about the same. If Daz Bones ended up drawing us a 1 drop loop, we'd be playing it out. So that's all good. It is nice again. Like this Bond Clay is a matchup changer. The fact that you can spend 1 Dawn and it becomes an 8K attack is huge in this matchup.
Yeah, especially for something like Nami. So is going to go in now with the 9,000 power swing. Just put a Nene on 3 life and pass off the turn. We're going to go into now the 5 Dawn turn.
All right, just going to start with a 5, asking for a card from hand.
And I like the 5 to start out with, like you're talking about with the Bon Clay, because now the 7,000 power is on the Nami. Bon Clay can copy that power officially. Whereas I think before, the way that the order goes, if you swing Bon Clay first, it would actually be swinging 5 or 6 with the Dawn attached, and then Nami can get out of it with 7. But going ahead with the buggy is going to go ahead, play a Prisoner of Impel down onto the field. 2 Dawn left after the leader effect, and it's going to try to save this Bon Clay a little bit. I do like this of saving Bon Clay for a little bit more of an explosive turn because you can copy that power, whereas Daz Bones is a little bit harder to be able to hit that power specifically.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is a good play. Yeah, you don't want to use Bon Clay until you have to. And since you had an extra Dawn this turn, like you do get to just put the 2 there to get there. So we're going to block and 2K to save. We're going to play a 4 drop Marco. So unfortunately, SamSans has a bit of a slow start compared to the first game. And Nene is really starting to apply some pressure now.
Yeah, Nene with a lot of bodies on the field, and SamSam still guarding the life pretty heavily, right? Still sitting at 4 without any healing in this game. Boa is going to prevent this Marco from resting sideways. Boa on curve is just so nice in a situation like this. Now leader effect getting 2 Dawn as active. Going to swing 6 with Buggy to start off this turn. Might just go ahead, or I'm sorry, 7 with Buggy. It might just go ahead with the 7 with Buggy and a 7 with the Prisoner, but no, it's just going to go with Bon Clay instead. Mr. 2 just going to be an 8,000 power swing. Sam is going to take this first life. Is going to be a baby 5 trigger, almost always an auto trigger, right, to enact because of that draw 2 if your leader is multicolored effect. And now passing off the turn. Still a couple bodies as active, one blocker on the field, but no chance to swing with Marco as of right now for Sam to apply a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, and this is like a little bit more, I'd say, normal for a green blue Luffy, right? Just to be able to apply so much pressure. We're just going to get the block and 1K to get out. We do have the Nico Robin there, so we're able to go from 2 life to 4, get a draw off the leader effect and pass. But this is a pretty scary spot, especially since Boa can attack this turn. I mean, unironically, we could go to the Navy HQ right now, and that would be devastating for the Nami player.
It would be an explosive turn, that's for sure. But going to start out with the 7,000 power swing just to see what happens, right? You're not committing a potential blocker in Buggy. You're not committing your Bond Clay in the power manipulation. So, leader effect is going to go off and a 2K to get out of that attack. Interesting, committing the 2K now on the 7,000 power swing is going to take that Bond Clay 8,000 power swing into the life. No trigger, still 3 cards left in the life for Sam, and the Nami, I
Yeah,
believe,
again,
has
with Boa
7
being
Dawn.
unblockable, going to be really good here as well. We've got 7 Dawn open. Okay, so with this not going to the Navy HQ,
Is going to go with the 7,000 power swing of Daz Bones. A potential trigger, just trying to fan out what it could be. And it's Perona playing out Hogback on the field. That's going to be nice to be able to do a little bit of tempo in this game. And is going to
right?
swing the Prisoner.
Yep, another 7K here. And if you block with Marco, yeah, this is kind of the time for it because this bow is going to be unblockable. Another 9K, going to be another draw 2 off this baby 5. And then for 4, going to play out what looks like to be probably what a Mr. 3.
Crocodile? Oh, Mr. 3, yeah.
Yep. Going to get the effect on the Nico Robin. We're going to get 2 Dawn back active with our Luffy leader effect. And then we could do one more 7, asking for one more card out of hand.
We can ask for a 7, or we could maybe do 2 for like another Bon Clay if we had it. And there's the Mr. 2 Bon Kure is going to be able to have multiple swings now that'll match the leader's powers as we pass off the turn, not swinging with leader on this turn. But Sam with 2 baby 5 triggers and also a Marco, that's 6 cards right there that you drew within that turn. So they have plenty of cards in the hand right now. But what is the best option to utilize? You have a couple swings in the a Dr. Hogback and also the leader. Unfortunately, the Nico Robin can't swing, but priority number 1 is getting rid of this Mr. 2.
Yep. So that has been removed. Unfortunately, there is another one on the board right now. And then I don't know. You're also like this weird spot where our I think Nami is like 7 cards or less in hand. I think we've got like 9-ish. So we only even get a card draw if we do move life to another area.
Mhm. With a full 10 Dawn at their disposal, everything is able to be played as of right now. But thinking about attaching Dawn, maybe trying to clear the Buggy or the Prisoner, right? It would be able to neutralize 2 bodies on the field to make it a little bit harder for something like the HQ. But an 8,000 power swing is going to be going at life, actually, and a Robin's going to be played to heal up to 2.
Yeah, and again, since we had I think too many cards in hand, we did not get a draw there. 2 life is good, but again, there's a scary board on the other side. So starting off with a big 7 with this Buggy.
I like the Buggy starts for ENENE and what he's been doing in this to try to get that leader effect off right early, just with a 1 Dawn commitment. Is going to get exactly that with the Dr. Hogback, not giving up any wiggle room on the life, as we've been saying, is spreading out 7 and 2 on the Dawn. Is just going to go now with a 9,000 power swing, I believe.
Yeah, with using the Bond Clay effect and then getting the extra 2, that will be a 9 there.
9,000 power is going to take. Now the Boa going in with an unblockable swing is going to 2K, 1K out of that attack to go up to 10. Still 7 Dawn remaining. Could be something like another Boa to be able to just put it on the field and be able to neutralize the one of the Nico Robins. Didn't want to use the Navy headquarters event.
All right,
is
let's
going
say
to
we go
go.
for the crocodile though. But to refresh the Bond Clay, not terrible. We do also get the 2 Dawn at back after with leader effect.
So 3 Dawn left as of right now, 5 if we utilize leader effect. But what do you do with the 5? Do you leave some Dawn up for maybe a counter event of some sort? Thinking about it, committing at least 1 Dawn onto the Luffy. This and the prisoner would be your only swings left within this turn. Is going to be a 7,000 power at lead with the prisoner. Opting to commit with the swing is going to go ahead and counter out of that with just the 1K hog back. We'll see with the 2 Dawn left.
Oh, there's Bond Clay hanging out on the Dawn.
I think it just accidentally got scooped up.
Yeah, well, I think well, I do this all the time. I put my characters in my trash. The Dawn goes with it at times, and I gotta recover it out of there. So
Still has 2 Dawn left for potentially a 7,000 power swing with leader. I'm wondering if he's thinking about playing another 2 drop down on the field, or maybe just like is just going to pass off the turn, maybe just holding some counter events in the hand as well to say, okay, I only have 3 life and you have 4 swings represented within this turn. There could be a real situation to where you try to go all in, split this Dawn to be able to go in for game. And if I only have 1 blocker, right? It just takes like 1 Zeus since you have 1 life to be able to get rid of that blocker. So I'm just going to hold in. I'm just going to be patient, right? I've got a pretty explosive turn in the next turn potentially, and I'm just representing a lot of damage on the field right now and a lot of cards out of your hand. So now Sam is going to be trying to go in at board, is going to be an 8,000 power swing at the prisoner, is going to counter out of it to keep it alive, adding 3K counter, another 2K, 1K to keep that alive.
one thing too with the events from Luffy is that they do get like a plus 3K power, but generally they only protect the leader specifically. So if you're going into characters on board there, you're not going to be able to get the same amount of defense properties.
So with a full 10 Dawn still at Sam and Nami's disposal, what do you do with the said Dawn? What's the correct play? Do you go in with something like an Edward Newgate, something that we haven't seen in this set of 3 as of yet from Sam? Or do you try to go in with a little bit of healing? You can play another Robin to gain a life because you would trash a life, maybe potentially drawing a card as well. And it looks like stunning is going to be the name of the game. Mr. 3 going in with that activate main to prevent the Nami, or I'm sorry, the Boa from being able to swing in the next turn. That's going to be nice for the unblockable trait. Should still be rested. Now you've got 6 Dawn to work with for the rest of the turn. You could maybe try to stun something else. Could maybe get in with another Marco, but no, is just going to swing 9 or 8,000 power once again at the prisoner. Just a lot of 8K swings. Finally gets the prisoner and another 8K swing going in at the buggy, just clearing it off the field. Now there's only 2 bodies that are able to swing for an ENENE within this next turn.
Yeah, but they can be pretty good ones. Bond and Clay again, 1 Dawn 8K is pretty scary. As long as you sequence it correctly, that you do, wait until they become a base 7K leader, but that can be very strong.
So full 10 Dawn now for an NA. 2 Dawn or 2 life still is going to start out with a Bond Clay, that alternate art to be able to draw 1 card, replace itself in the hand. Just try to get another card to decide what they want to do with the rest of this turn. Is putting 3 up to the side. All these characters are rested sideways, by the way. So an Electrical Luna would be able to stun everything. Starts out with the 7K at Croc. I think probably an Electrical Luna is on the radar if we're committing our blocker at this point. The 9,000 power swing after the leader effect was enacted in the last attack is going to have to command a couple more cards from Sam.
2K1. We have not used leader effect from Luffy quite yet, too, so we will be able to get 2 Dawn potentially back. We're going to play Croc to save the Bon Clay. Really love this play here. Very heads up. We're going to have 3 Dawn left open. And do we have it? We do. The Luna stunning the whole board. And now Nami really is got to be scared about just all the pressure from the next turn and not really being able to use their own characters on this next one.
With Electrical Luna, all 7 costs or less on your opponent's side of the field will not become active in the next refresh phase. Hence why the Robin and Hogback are still sideways. Is going to go ahead and swing 8,000 power over at the Crocodile. Is going to clear it off the board. Now with the Robin, is going to go ahead and heal 2 life. Draw 1 card for the leader effect, and we pass off the turn. We'll see what ENENE has to do. Does have 2 characters, or I'm sorry, does have Bon Clays with repeating names. So Navy headquarters, you're not necessarily worried about it as of right now, but Brook is something you got to be thinking about, especially because Boa can now swing, and the leader effect going off on the Crocodile right now is thinking about maybe swinging a pair of 9s with these Bon Clays.
Yeah, it looks like first 9 here going to the 7K.
And it looks like we have a quick stop of play.
I think we're just making sure that card can attack this turn too, because it was
Gotcha.
yeah, it was played last turn. We're going to go big 9
Mm-hmm.
here, so this is going to be 9 to 7.
9 to 7, gonna have to force 2 cards out of hand with leader effect already enacted. 2K, 1K, or a life taken. Sam is gonna take this last life, a potential trigger. If it's something like the ability to put Perona on field, it is. If there, I believe there's a Perona in trash that's going to stun the other Bon Clay. So no other 9,000 power, but 4 Dawn is going to be a Mr. 3 and immediately utilize that activate main to say that the rested Robin or the active Robin cannot attack. And if we have another electrical Luna, that's going to be stunning the board for another turn.
That
Oh
is
my
so
goodness,
good.
that's going to be huge.
The entire board can't do anything. Big 7, we get out of the attack, but this is looking really tough for SamSans.
And Sam just scoops up the game, says, you know what? I know I'm not going to be able to hit you for lethal because you are at 2 life. So let's save the amount of time again. With 28 minutes left in the round, we're already going to a game 3.
Yeah, and just like a lot of variety between these 2 games that we've seen already. Both games, ENENE ended up going, I believe, second, right? Against Nami, was that correct?
Yes.
Like being able to take away their like 10 drop.
Or no, they went first. They went first.
Oh, they went first? Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, because they did, do 1 and then they didn't do anything, and then the double 2s on the next turn. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see if Nami wants to take first or second. This is going to be their first time deciding in this match for it. Again, I think Luffy can be pretty like back and forth. I do think playing the Boa Hancock on 7 is really important because it does interact with Nami so often. But yeah, I'm curious to see how this game 3 goes.
And especially, I mean, this is why I've been so high on green blue Luffy within this format because of the stun cards like I Know You're Strong, like Electrical Luna, right? We saw in that game that Electrical Luna won the game, right?
Yeah.
On back-to-back turns. It is just that strong of a card in this format with so many different 7 costs or less, especially trying to clear your board constantly with all of your small bodies. It's so much more harder to do when you prevent your opponent from even being able to attack in those turns with those bodies. So we're going into a game 3. We'll see if anything changes between them. Players looking at their starting hands.
Yeah, and I think also for that second game, like SamSans had a little bit of a slow start. Also, the fact that we were only playing Robins and not any like 8 drops, such as like Teach or Moria, that would allow us to be able to, not only heal but get out of range for like the I Know You're Strongs or the Electrical Luna, since those hit 7 or less, is not being able to establish an 8 drop or higher was a little bit tough.
And so both players going for the mulligan and letting fate decide how this game 3 is going to go. Live and die by the mulligan, as some say. It's going to be interesting. I'm still curious to know what SamSam is doing with the turn order.
Yeah, because like generally speaking, like Nami does not mind the even curve, especially like a Kiko Nojo, Marco on curve's great, being able to get to 10 to be able to play Newgate, also like 7 drop Robin and then being able to attach it on. So it's half the time with Nami, I feel like you are afforded to just take away the curve from your opponent.
And especially with the early turns, right? Maybe even the even curve. Something that we haven't seen at all from Sam's is no girl promo,
Yeah,
right? For the
yeah.
2 Dawn in the early game. So that could be something. It looks like Sam did decide to go first in this game, and NA going second is going to pass off the first turn, and ENENE going in with a 2-drop in the Daz Bones leader effect into one of the Luffy. First time we're seeing this guy in this best of 3. Going to be looking at the top 3 for a impel down type of card to add to the hand.
Yeah, a little while it's taken this long for us to see this, but this is a card that can get to 7K with 2 Dawn, but it also means you have to have a pretty wide board of unique names. So a little bit tough. We just see an immediate 8K attack and then pass it right back.
Yeah, especially if you have no girl promo, right, to be able to play down onto the field. It's pretty much just, you know what, let's just go ahead and swing, try to put you on 3 life for my Nami later in the turns, maybe on 5. ENENE is going to be playing a Bon Clay onto the field to be able to draw 1 card. Still has 2 Dawn left to work with, but I think is thinking about swinging 5 to try to activate the leader effect as of right now, but not before another Mr. 2 goes onto the field and a leader effect restanding the Dawn, swinging 7. Passing off the turn, now going with the 5 is going to get that Nami, like I was talking about, to force ENENE to go down to 2 life. Getting the rest of Dawn onto the leader as well is going to be a 6,000 power swing to be able to force a 2K out of the hand. ENENE not giving up any cards as of yet from the hand. Probably don't want to. I don't know if you want to take. He's been trying to stay at 2 life within this game as much as possible.
Yeah, and like the kind of the thought process too is that all right, they already used their Nami effect, right? We already got the card draw, so once per turn. I can take the life here, and then they also won't get like another draw, right? So is it easier for me to defend at 1 and kind of like remove 1 card from their draw, or like there is like a lot of decision here.
Lots of bodies on the field, lots of small bodies on the field, but 2 Mr. 2s is a good start. It's just going to double 2K. That's something you like to see if you're Sam, not only because the Mr. 3s are going into the trash, which has been a very impactful card in this format in the early days, as we've seen within this tournament the last 24, 36 hours or whatever, but that is going to be meaning maybe no 2Ks outside of a buggy and prisoner that's going to be played on this turn
Yeah,
potentially.
and it was double 1Ks, double 1Ks
Or
to
yeah,
get.
double
Yeah,
1Ks, my
to get to
apologies.
2K. Yeah. Yeah, but they are, 2 Mr. 3s, so that is pretty tough. Generally a strong card in the matchup so far. But we're going to play out the buggy here, and I think we, are doing this because we did probably have a 2K, but we only had one of the prisoners in hand, and it's way more impactful for it to be on the board. But yeah, clearly I would be very remiss to have to do double 1Ks, especially with Mr. 3s to get out of an attack like that.
And especially this early in the game too. So going off into Sam's next turn should be 7 Dawn here. Could be something like a Robin. Something that Sam has to think about is the Dawn, right? Being on the odd curve and being on 7 Dawn. If you play the 7 cost Robin, you have no way to get a Dawn on your leader, staring at the face of all of these attacks. So is that worth it? Or is it better to play something along the lines of like a Kiku Nojo or a Marco, and then splitting the Dawn a little bit just to be able to get the leader effect in the turn?
Yeah, and yeah, then Nico Robin for sure. It's a little bit risky here when the board is so wide and it's so easy for you to hit 5Ks and higher. You kind of need to have a Dawn underneath your Nami leader this turn.
So after blocking and using Brook as counter in the first swing from the 5 cost Nami, now the leader is going in and swinging 8,000 power, is going to go ahead, take it, go down to 1. Leader effect going off for the Nami, and Marco coming down on the field, being a blocker that can draw 2 cards if you get the chance to, but maybe a Boa coming in on this 8 Dawn turn from ENENE. ENENE now at 1 life. Sam still sitting at 3, hasn't committed as many cards in this game at this point as they have in the past 2 games, I feel like. Can be a pretty explosive turn for the blue-green Luffy,
Yeah,
potentially.
and I think this is definitely a spot where, if we happen to have a 7 drop Boa, it could be pretty impactful here. We are going to use leader effect immediately, just get the plus 2K. And we do have to be kind of worried about that because that can offer us, a chance to, play our Bond plays here. But we're going to get rid of the Daz Bones. There's the Boa. No Marco block for you here.
So leader effect restanding 2 Dawn. Now these swings are going to be with no threat to blocking. Is going to be a Kiku Nojo that comes down on the field. You'll love to see that if you're Sam right now. Just an extra body to be able to either swing at lead or clear board in this next turn. That's an extra threat.
Yeah, and this is like the rough spot about Nami. Like you're so, you know, pressed to try to do as much damage as you can, but giving them more cards on the board, making it so they can give you like a big reversal on the other time on the other side and make it difficult for you even to survive your next turn is, part of the reason I think Nami's been so popular in this format, especially again with the Thriller Bark package that was released.
Just so much flexibility within this deck, plenty of different ways to be able to decide what cards you think are worth playing, what cards are going to help you in certain matchups. Since Nami is what a lot of people label as a good stuff deck, right?
Hmm.
Just plays a lot of good cards. And so passing off the turn with one Dawn left as active now goes into Sam's 9 Dawn turn. Just starts out with the 6,000 power swing. I think just going at face. Not really trying to swing at these like Bon Clays, things of that nature. A 2K prisoner gets out of that attack. And now the 6K swing from the Nami is going to be a block and 1K from the prisoner after Buggy enacted the prisoner to be a blocker. 7,000 power lead is going to get that Navy headquarters event. And the Robin is going to go in to be able to trash 1 life and heal 2 to get a leader effect draw of 1 card.
All right, back at 3. Getting all the Dawn off of our characters here. And again, this could be a lot of pressure on the other side. We've got really only, quote unquote, one blocker with the prisoners. If we keep it there, these bond clays are going to be important, but we have to make sure that they use their leader effect first before they do get that value.
That's why you're always
Immediately
seeing
using the
this
new
Buggy
gate.
swing. Yeah. The Buggy swing always enacting that leader effect, it seems like, is going to go ahead and 2K out of that 8,000 power swing. Now that we're a 7 from the Bon Clay, another 8 is going to get the Marco value to be able to draw, especially because Boa is going to be able to swing and be unblockable. Might as well get that value now from the Marco. 9,000 power bow swing hits, but no trigger off of the life. Another card in hand for Sam. Still sitting with 7 Dawn to work with over for ENENE at this point.
Yeah, and now it's just like, do I go for it, right? We haven't really played let's go to the Navy HQ at all this game outside of just using it as like a counter, right? This could be enough pressure to go for it. 7K leader, 2 life. We've got a lot of more pressure attacks, right? We've got these double 8Ks. We're going to have like 2 additional Dawn to use as well. But it looks like for 4, we're going to get rid of one of our Bond Clays to play out a Mr. 3 to prevent the Boa from attacking.
Yeah, and
Value 2.
remember, you have to have the unique names with the Navy headquarters. So
Oh, yeah.
having 2 Bon Clays, it wouldn't have worked in that turn. But I think, just trying to go in and stall a little bit longer, I think chose the Robin, if I'm not mistaken, on that Mr.
Mm,
3.
yeah, I believe they did. And yeah, you're correct. You need 5 unique names, not 5 unique arts, since there are 2 different Ball and Clay arts for that one. So unfortunate for that. But Electrical Luna still putting a lot of work in for this matchup when again Nami's only been able to really establish like 7Ks and less. So there is our own Mr. 3 here going to use the ability to prevent the Boa from attacking on the other side. We do have a Borsalino, which I think this is the first Borsalino we've seen hit the board this match, which is kind of crazy. I would expect 4 Borsalinos to be in this Nami deck.
Yeah, we have seen way more Mr. Threes in this best of 3 than we have of Borsalino being able to heal a life for just 5 Dawn if you're at 2 or less by the time that you play it. And NA is going to start out with the 7,000 power swing, is going to be a potential trigger if there's a Perona in the trash, might hit the field, and it is going to be a hot. Oh, no, it's a Gecko to play out Marco.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, like quote unquote, the best is the Zoro here, but this still is kind of the same thing where you're able to get out of an attack and draw 2. So ends up being a great hit. Yeah, just, I need more room for cards. Marco's taking the block here.
So still has a couple swings left to work with. I believe 7 Dawn in total now. Still available for ENENE, but 1 life left, a couple bodies on the field. It's going to be really hard to try to swing at lethal right now. And if you don't have another stun effect for the Kikunojo Nami and maybe some freezing as well, you could be in a little bit of trouble in this game.
Yeah, I mean, we're already down to 1 life as our blue green Luffy here. And so it's not going to be, easy just to survive this next turn as well. So we kind of need to have like an electrical Luna or like, I know you're strong to be able to, again, stun the Nami and the Kikunojo. But like, we're just not getting past a lot of this pressure. So big 9K, going to use the leader effect. Oh, sorry. This is just a big. There's a big 7K. With
Oh,
our
yeah,
victory.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 Because we hadn't used the effect yet. So
Still gets
playing
out
up
of
the
the
clock to
attack.
restand it.
Now with leader effect restanding 2, Dawn has 3 in total. We'll see if there's something like a 3 for electrical Luna or I know you're strong, especially if you used one of those 2 events that would be all of your Dawn. And you still have 3 swings represented within the Borsalino, the 7 cost Robin, and also the leader.
Yeah. Now we do have 2 blockers potentially. We have one from Crocodile, and if Buggy is able to get blocker to the prisoner, that ends up being okay. And can Boa can't attack this turn, right?
No, Boa, I believe, was frozen by the Mr. 3 before
Okay,
we played the Borsalino.
gotcha. Yeah. And then there it is with the SamSan's turn. Back at 10 Dawn, being able to survive that. And without any Lunas or I know you're strong, this is going to be a tough turn.
So now going 8,000 power is going to use that buggy effect to be able to enact a Prisoner of Impel down to be a blocker for the rest of this turn. Now representing with 2 blockers on the field is just going to go down to 0 life right away.
Yeah, and I think that's understood at this point. Like you just want every card you can for defense. Hopefully there's like another event here to get like a +3 counter, but it is looking tough for our green blue Luffy player.
So the 8,000 powers, or wait, no, I'm sorry. Sam thinking about what to do with the rest. Is going out with the 6,000 power swing. Just going to be a 2K Jinbei out of the hand. Now the 6,000 power swing on the Nami is going to be a block and 1K from the Daz Bones. Sam might just go for a little bit more defensive. The Zeus is going to be able to get rid of the Crocodile and 8 Dawn left remaining. But first of 5 on the leader. And now the rest on Borsalino is going to be a 12. Quick math. 8 Dawn is 12,000 power swing. And Sam is going to lock in a spot in the top 4 of this Peoria championship.